Oh my lord, ladies and gentlemen. So we just asked, where the hell is the Overwatch lore? And they've just given us the lore. So, like, the timing couldn't have been any more beautiful. Anyway, there are some massive, massive lore bombs in this Bastet comic, or well, it's not even a comic, it's a short story, which, by the way, these are really cool things to do because they give us, it's a very easy way of giving us more in-depth lore without having to go through like the production of a comic. Just write, just give us stuff to read. This is huge. So check this out, guys. This is cool. Soldier 76 is gay. That is a huge bit of news there, because we've known for a while that other Overwatch characters are gay, but we don't actually know who they are. But this comic pretty much, it's not a comic, it's a short story, pretty much confirms that Soldier is. We've got Anna's identity moving from Shrike to Bastet, which is, of course, the Egyptian goddess of home, domesticity, women's secrets, cat's fertility, and childbirth. She protects the home from evil spirits and disease, especially diseases associated with women and children. Thank you very much, Wikipedia. And there are, obviously, well, there's a new Anna skin. I'm honestly really excited about this, ladies and gentlemen, because this is what we need. This kind of stuff just it gives us more about the world, and it builds the world, right? Anyway, let's get on to this. Let's get stuck into this. So, first thing we've got is this passage. Jack had fallen behind a few paces, leaning against one of the walls. Reminds me of Prague. I'm not carrying you this time, Anna said. Come on, Jack, keep up. She dashed out of the shadows across the street, feeling the full blast of the sun above the heat baked into the stones beneath her. Back in the shadows, she continued. Prague, what's your fault? Why you ever thought Reinhardt could be stealthy is beyond me. Anna waited for Jack to defend himself when he didn't reply. She turned around. He had collapsed on the paving stones out in the open. Not now, Anna thought as she ran back to him. She tried to pull him up. Wake up, Jack. But he gave no response. Anna slung Jack's arm over her shoulder and lifted him, carrying him down the alley. So why is this passage funky? Well, this tells us about Reinhardt trying to be stealthy in Prague. Something has happened in Prague. This could potentially be the setting for the next Archives event. A mission in Prague, a stealth mission with Anna, with Soldier 76, and with Reinhardt. And something happens with Reinhardt where obviously he's not very stealthy, so he sets off alarms, no doubt, and everything kind of goes crazy. So that's super cool. Okay, next up we get this image. Now, this image is really funky. And as I'll explain in a second, what this is showing is a younger Soldier 76 and a character called Vincent, who we've never seen before. And that Soldier, obviously, when he was younger, he's got nice blonde hair, and he's with Vincent. Vincent is Soldier's boyfriend, it looks like, and they were going to get married, but it didn't work out for them. Vincent actually went away and got married, and Soldier, obviously, because, you know, it's the whole sort of, he gave his life for the military career kind of thing. He thought the war wouldn't last as long as it actually did with the Omnics and all of that stuff. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. She turned to the next one and almost dropped the photos in surprise. She'd never seen the photo, but she recognised it immediately. Jack looked so much younger. He had just stepped off a military transport for leave. It was the other person in the picture that surprised her, a dark-haired man. Dressed in a casual button-up shirt, Jack's arm was around his shoulder. Vincent. Vincent! I haven't thought about him in years, Anna said. Still keeping a candle lit for him? Jack shook his head. Nothing like that. You've never looked in on him. You must have been curious. All the surveillance power in the world. I bet Gabe would have put a Blackwatch agent on him if you asked, Anna said. Jack glared at her. Okay, touchy subject. Jack laughed. He got married. They're very happy. I'm happy for him. Anna was unconvinced. In the early days, Jack talked about him often, floating a dream that the war would end quickly and maybe he'd have a chance to return to a normal life. But a normal life was never the reward for people like us. Vincent deserved a happier life than the one I could give him. Jack sighed. We both knew that I could never put anything above my duty. Everything I fought for was to protect people like him. That's the sacrifice I made. Relationships don't work out so well for us, do they? Anna said, unconsciously running her thumb over her wedding ring, over where her wedding ring used to be. At least you and Gabe managed to have families. The pair lapsed back into silence. But a normal life was never the reward for people like us. So that's absolutely huge. Like, this story takes place essentially in the present. It's not in the past. It's Anna and Soldier talking about like bits and pieces of the past, but they're very much in the present, getting together to go out and sort of fight against Talon. Now, the next interesting bit we get is Anna seems to have changed her Shrike kind of persona to this Bastet persona, which is still an Egyptian idol. And we get this teaser for a new skin, and this is a very cool way to show off a new skin, isn't it? Maybe a new event-related skin, which, as we believe, could possibly be part of the next Archives event, which may take place in Prague. Now, there's no reason for it not to, I guess, and there's no reason for it to. I don't know. Like, this is just a short story, and we're pretty much gagging for any kind of lore right now. So if we see anything, we're kind of going to be like, oh my god, what does this mean? What are the huge bits and pieces of information from this? Well, I think we've covered them in this video. We've got the new Anna skin, we've got the Prague possible mission area, or maybe that's just including another event, who knows. And we've got the revelation, I guess we could say, that Soldier 76 is another gay character in the Overwatch universe, which of course he joins Tracer in that regard, which is cool. Overwatch is all about diversity, so it's really, really cool to see stuff like that come out. One thing which kind of annoys me is like, why is this taking so long? You know what I mean? Like, surely you could bash these stories out super quick and be like, right, start giving us bits and pieces of story so we can actually build these characters and then, I don't know, maybe associate more with the characters rather than just on a really base gameplay level where it's like, oh, I like this guy because he's got a shooty gun. You know, maybe you like people because, you know, you can identify with them in certain ways, right? If they align with things that you believe in and stuff, it gives you more of a reason to get invested in the fantasy of those characters. So Blizzard, give us more of that lore. And of course, it's very funny that all this comes out, you know, literally an hour after we made the video. Well, actually, we're working on that video for quite a while, asking where the lore is for Overwatch, and well, actually it looks like the lore's starting to come out now, which is super good, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I've been Stylosa, guys. This is Unit Lost, of course. Let us know what you think about this in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I recommend you go and check out this comic. It is linked below. No, it's not a comic, is it? This short story, it is linked below. It is cool. Go and read it. I hope we get more of these because they would be an ideal way to develop all kinds of stuff which is going on. Because comics are fine, right? And the big issue comics have got is you can't really... There's not that much text, is there, in a comic? I mean, there can be. It depends how they're put together. But generally, it focuses around the action, right? Something awesome will happen that's visualized with the great illustrations. But when it's a story, it's different. You can start building the world in different ways, and there's no reason why we can't and we should get more of these short stories. I mean, the Overwatch world is really big when you think about it. There's a lot of story arcs going through. Even in the recent video, if you guys watched it, where Josh is talking about the whole Volskaya Industries, and they're getting energy systems and weapons off the Omnics, well, off an Omnium. What's going on there? Like, that's been over a year ago. You know, it's probably coming up to 2 years since we got that revelation. I mean, surely a short story would be a good way to explain what's going on there, to develop that part of the world. And there are just loads and loads and loads of applications for these. So I'm really, really stoked to see this. I can't stress that enough. We need more of this. I am not the biggest lore guy ever. I will put my hand over my heart and say that. I'm not a guy who is like, who knows everything about the lore. People like Hame, absolute heroes when it comes to the lore. Josh, one amongst many, he obviously knows a lot of the lore. Me personally, I find it quite difficult. So I guess like a lot of you guys find it quite difficult to kind of keep up to date with the lore. All I'm really up to date with are where the cinematics are. But I mean, really, the cinematics kind of, it's old news. They're cool, but they don't really show anything modern. The recent one did, I guess. It showed the introduction of Echo and obviously Ash. But beyond that, it was just a cool little fight, and there wasn't really any substance to it. So I want to see stuff with more substance and stuff that I can follow in I guess, a more coherent manner, instead of having to dive into wikis and look at random comics and bits and pieces. I want it in order. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And maybe, guys, if they do enough of these short stories, they could put them in together into some sort of annual, which you could use to just kind of quickly bring yourself up to speed on everything that's going on in the Overwatch lore. I don't know. It's funky. But anyway, guys, let's wrap this up. So it's super cool, this is, guys. I want to see more of this stuff. I think all of us want to see more of this. We want more lore. We want more story development. This world could be ridiculously detailed. And I think, actually, they've built a really good, like, foundation. They just need to add to it. They just need to give us more bits and pieces, more information, and we'll just lap it up. We want this stuff. And also, I've got to be honest, guys, it's nice to be making videos again, but on actual, you know, kind of substance, things which are changing in the game, making it feel like a living world. So give us more of that, Blizzard. Please, I implore you. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. Remember, click the sub button, click the bell, follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and check me out on Instagram, which is @Stylosa. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.